and meaning of what is taking place in our world. And more, it will be right on our doorsteps. It will be something that is not going to be far removed from our reality, but will be taking place next door to us, in the next street to us, downtown from us. So it's not going to be so far removed from our day to day realities, but we're still going to be the lotus living in the mud. So I want to set this context because when we talk about making efforts and we talk about lightness and we talk about the joy of life while making those efforts, we are making it within the reality of today's world. And so they are not going to go away, as Baba says, they are going to get more intense. But what is happening at the same time with the Brahmins is that because we have understood so very deeply what Baba is saying to us, we are going to be making much more sense and much more kind of setting a context from which to, first of all, understand what is happening and understanding how I need to respond to what is happening. And I will be doing that with a lot of lightness and the joy. And the joy is not that I'm going to be happy because this is happening to others, but it's not happening to me. No, the joy comes from I am honored to be an instrument that Baba is using in this moment of crisis to serve. And I think that that's the joy that we will be experiencing, the joy of being of service at the time when it is most needed, at the level at which it is most needed. And that level is spiritual. So, within that context, I want to now talk about this exercise, this 21-day bhati that we're doing, and the joy and lightness that it will bring to your life as we progressively do it day by day. Sister Mohini herself is doing it. And this morning, some of you may have been on the call with her and Sister Jayanti. And Wadi Ben was interviewing them. And it was a very lovely conversation in which they were talking to the global family of instruments outside of India. And she did mention this to us. She mentioned how she was actually doing the bhati and what it was emerging from within her. So I also found that extremely helpful in me also doing this 21-day bhati. Now, the one thing that she made very clear, and we had a retreat here at Peace Village, that's where I am right now, and Peace Village retreat was all about determination and transformation. So we were churning on this word determination. And determination is actually not strenuous, it isn't forceful, it isn't something that comes out of stubbornness, it isn't laborious. But the determination that Baba talks about is a determination that comes from a higher inspiration. So it means that if I am inspired by my father, by Baba, my father, I will be determined to claim my inheritance. If I'm inspired by my teacher, I will be determined to study. If I am inspired by my true guide, I will be determined to follow his directions or his Srimad. So it's of a higher kind of inspiration. And then Sister Mohini said, actually, the determination that Baba talks about is the determination based on love. Once I experience that love, it is the love that gives me the willpower through which I'm determined to accomplish something. And Sister Jayanti said something beautiful today. She says, we're aspiring to perfection not because I am determined to be perfect. I don't know what that means. And so I will never accomplish the perfection because I don't know what perfection is, right? I don't think any one of us would know that. But to be perfect is because Baba wants me to be perfect. So Baba is seeing me with that vision of love. And Baba, as my father, as my teacher, as my Satguru, he is with love, guiding me, progressing me, growing me into his vision of me, which he's calling as perfect. And he's doing it with fundamental spiritual love. And so this is what brings a lot of lightness and a lot of joy to accomplish what I have to accomplish, or what's the call of the time and what's the call of Baba for me to rise up and become the best version of myself at the confluence age so I can do the service that others are in need of at this time. And basically, the service of bringing souls closer to Baba, of treating souls kindly, of treating souls with respect, of upholding their dignity and their worth. This is the kind of service Baba wants me to do. And so he is working with me in order to do that. But at the same time, it's bringing so much of joy because I'm doing something that is so full of a kind of fulfillment, not just within me, but when I share that with others, they feel fulfilled, they feel appreciated, they feel seen, they feel upheld. And so that gives me a lot of joy when my only my presence can do that for another. So it is a lightness and a joy in an effort that is based on love. And I feel that when my effort is colored by love, the effort is natural. It flows very naturally out of me. It's not an effort to be kind to someone. It flows. It's a natural state of being. Now, if that is what I want my life to be according to in 2026, something natural, the flow from within me is happening in such an effortless way. The way I want to serve is something that defines who I am, and it is a reality of who I am rather than an image that I want to paint of myself. But I'm taking my masks off and I'm taking the image away, and I am really allowing the reality of who I am to shine unapologetically. I am who I am, and I'm giving myself the permission to shine in that unique and beautiful way. And it's effortless. What makes it hard for us are the illusions we carry about ourselves. And so today, Sister Mohini was saying that the illusions we carry are the acquired sanskaras about ourselves. And those acquired sanskaras, which Baba calls as Ravan's property, um, are what we are still defining ourselves by. It's the image that we're so attached to that we tend to see ourselves through the images that the old sanskaras of 63 births of Ravan's property is telling us about ourselves. So this Dil Aram, close at heart, is asking us, it's giving us an illusion. And Baba is saying, you're carrying patterns. Well, today is close at heart. So he's saying that, we are the comforter of hearts. That's what today is. So he's telling us the state of our hearts. And in our hearts, we're carrying a lot of grief. We're carrying a lot of pain and sorrow. And we're carrying a lot of unfinished emotions that are still lying inside of us as memories. And so these memory bubbles come up with different colors and tell us exactly what those emotions are. Are they of sadness? Are they of grief? Are they of regret? And so they're all emotions that are still living in our hearts, and they're all illusions because that's not who I am. I acquired them. And they are also living in my sanskars because the memory could not emerge if I didn't do something that created a sanskara within me. So, what Sister Moini was saying, in order to remove these illusions, I just can't remove it at the level of the memory bubble. So, when the memory comes up, I just don't remember the scene of that memory and who did what and where it was done and the time it was done. That is not that is just part of the illusion. That's like the surface of the illusion. But then after the memory comes up, then ask, well, what pattern did it leave on me? Whether it's in my heart or whether it's in my mind or whether it's in the way my intellect works, the reasoning that I have or the understanding that I have. How is it showing up? Is it showing up as self-doubt? Did it leave inside of me a fear? Is now you're looking at a pattern. Was the pattern of that memory, not just a memory, but what pattern did it leave in me? And your pattern is your sanskara. So did it leave a doubt within me? Did it leave a fear within me? Did it leave any of those sanskaras within me? Now, once I identify whether it's a doubt, so I doubt myself very regularly by not having the confidence to do what Baba is telling me to do because I don't believe in what Baba is telling me about myself. And even if I want to believe what Baba is telling me about myself, those beautiful murlis that he describes us so beautifully, then what is stopping me from believing what Baba is saying when it's so beautiful? And why am I choosing to believe in something that I acquired? So the acquired is the illusion. What Baba is telling me is the truth. And so, to the drills now, why are we doing the drills? Is that we can remove, we can discipline and have determination to remove the pattern, whether it's doubt or whether it's fear, that's living inside of me as an acquired sanskara. But then what Sister Mooney says, the drill in and of itself is not going to work unless I churn on the truth that Baba is telling me about myself. So Baba has given us a drill today of, the Dil Aram. I'm a bodiless soul and I am seated. I'm inviting Baba into my heart. Before you invite him to the heart, you may as well sit on his heart and then invite him into your heart. So it's playing around with those types of points of knowledge that Baba has told me how to return to the reality or the truth about myself. And that will then, with the drill, remove the sanskara or the illusion. It will remove the distrust I have. It will remove the doubt that I have. It will remove the fear that I have. It will remove the anxiety that I'm carrying. It will remove the pattern. And once the pattern starts to be removed gradually, then the memories will also go as well. And so I found that very interesting because I just don't do a drill. But before I do the drill, I said, okay, what is Baba asking me to remember about myself? And once I know, he's saying, okay, remember that you are love. Remember that you got that love. You inherited that love from God. Remember, your love makes you see things differently. The love gives you the strength to trust again. The love makes you fearless. And I'm just using today's Comforter of Hearts. The love brings you under the protection of Baba when you stay close to Baba. So the intellect is churning on all these points, and then you're practicing the drill because remember, it's the mind and the intellect that will practice the drill. So, but the intellect would have the strength of the knowledge. It will have the churning of the knowledge. And of course, the thoughts will be connected to the churning of these truths. What is true about me? That's what I have to connect to. So the drill is, of course, making me disciplined, making me very determined to remove the illusion. But I'm not connecting to the illusion. I just recognize what the illusion is. Once I recognize that illusion, whether it's fear or anxiety or whatever, then I kind of shift the intellect now to, okay, what are the points of knowledge I need to be churning on? Then the intellect is going to be engaged with the points of knowledge on today's love, the love that Baba is giving me, the love that he's drawing me close to. And then I perform the drill. And so the drill is then disciplining the mind and intellect to stay with the knowledge because it's churning on the knowledge. It is reflecting on the knowledge. So it's staying with the knowledge. And that is what is giving it the strength to start believing in the true self that I am, in that authentic self that I am, in my original and eternal sanskars. And they then get emerged. And then she said, it's not good to just stop at the drills, but to periodically stay in remembrance of your original and eternal self. And that is what is going to sustain the truth of who you are and will remove the illusions that you carry. And so she said, it's also important not to just think of love, but to experience love as the light of life. Not just to churn on the knowledge that Baba has given me or the truth about myself, but to experience it as who I am, as an attainment. And this is the way that I bless myself. I bless, one is Baba gives me blessings every day in the Murli, but the other is when I own what he's saying in the form of my true attainments that, really and truly, this is who I am. Why did I forget that? Then it is as if I bless myself. And so we'll be doing this for 21 days. And it's going to be very interesting what we come up with at the end of 21 days, because already I am seeing that one of the ways I do my chart at night is I do it two ways. One is what was the realization of the illusion of today and what was the clarity that it gave me. So I capture that at the end of the day before I sleep. But you remember Baba gave us a drill, and he last Sunday, in which he says, take a selfie of the soul and paint your portrait and then take a selfie of the soul, in which the portrait was you were sitting on the throne of Baba's heart. You were having your tilak, your soul, shining through with self-respect, being a child of God. And then it was the crown, the double crown of light. So it is a very beautiful thing to do, is to paint your portrait every night with this template that he's given. And just before you go to sleep, just take a few minutes of silence and take a selfie, not a physical selfie, of course, but take a selfie of the soul and just visualize you're sending it to Baba. Now, the next morning, you wake up for your Amrit Vela to start the next title of the 21 days. You're going to find that you're not just starting with a clean page, but you're starting on a very beautiful image that you, Baba, helped you to hold of yourself all night. So you're waking up with that beautiful portrait of yourself. So every day you are improving on how you see yourself, not just based on your own experience of the day before, but also on how Baba is helping you to nurture the way you see yourself. He's giving you a kind of a boost to say, yes, you're even more than you can see yourself. You're more because I am seeing you in a way that is making it so much more. I'm giving you that boost to see yourself like 10 times more than when you sent that portrait to me last night. So I find it's been helping me to develop what Baba would call a stage, an inner spiritual stage that he sometimes refers to as ekras. Ekras means your stage is so, I usually call Louis Angad because he's like very firm. He hasn't left Baba since I knew him, and I knew him when he was very, very young. And he's always been stable and unshakable. And every time I see him, it's the same smile, it's the same kind of strength. And so the last time I met him, I said, "You're Angad, you know, you're the Angad of Switzerland." And so it's like that inner stage in which no matter what happens, whether it's from my acquired sanskara inside of me or whether it's from what's going on outside of me, my stage remains beautiful and stable. It's like the three words that Baba describes himself as Satyam, it remains anchored in truth, in the light of truth. Shivam, that stage makes me always available to serve others, to bring benefit to others, to be of help to others. It's like a stage that, in a quiet way, without me even saying words, is saying to others, how can I be of help? That's benevolence. That's Shivam. And Sundaram, very beautiful, because it doesn't get affected or it doesn't fluctuate by what's going on outside or even inside of me. So I'll stop here and maybe you could engage with me if you have time. But I hope I made some sense to you in how easy it is to make an effortless effort when there is a deep love for what it is you want to accomplish for yourself so that you can be of help to others. And I think this is what the world needs from us, not just for us to become better people, but how do we help them outside of telling them what to do? How can they just look at me and feel a strength that tells them what they already know they need to do for themselves? And I think we need to look at others as though there's a wisdom living inside of them, just as how there's a wisdom living inside of me. And when I look at them with soul conscious love in the remembrance of Baba, it sparks off what they already know they have to do. But what gets exchanged is the strength. It's the power of love from within me, coming from Baba, that gives them the power for them to help themselves. And so it makes it joyful, it makes it light, and it makes it effortless. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much, Gayatri Ben. Lois, meanwhile, he's changed to translation. So it's good to remember us that he's Angad because I changed his name on my phone to Angad.
Yes, I have him on my phone, thank God.
So you're really a master in journeying and explaining. It's incredible. And I think for us, it's so good to have now a deeper understanding even what benefits this practice can bring. Also, this combination with journeying, but also take the selfie, the picture towards the end of the evening. Yeah. I have a question. Um, so the way you described serving others, I think that really speaks to our hearts because just being what we are, being that loving being, and that helps others. So I have two questions. One is sometimes we have because we have all Baba's Gyan, we are sometimes quite quick to give an advice. Do you think actually there is a lot of power in that? Or should we rather aim for bringing realization up in the other souls so that this soul recognizes himself, herself, what is to do?
Yeah, I think that yes, we are quick in giving advice because we think that that's what we have to do to help another. But the other actually don't want our advice. They don't necessarily want our advice. What they want is they want a microphone to speak through so that they could hear themselves clearer and louder. So if I say, okay, I am the microphone and I will remove my opinions, my interpretations, and my sense of reasoning from what they're saying, because all three are illusions. Interpretation of what someone is saying to me is an illusion
Mhm.
because I'm interpreting it.
True.
Reasoning, as Baba says, I am not the embodiment of the solution. I'm already looking for reasons why it should be happening. And definitely, I can't make a decision for that person because I am only hearing one aspect of the story that they're telling me. And every story we know have got a million sides to it. And every story has got lots of hidden and subtle dynamics to it. So if I stay, as Baba tells me, being the embodiment of the solution, and the embodiment of the solution is to be in his remembrance. So in that way, I am kind of moving into a neutral mode and I am in Baba's remembrance. And it's as though I'm sitting with Baba and I'm saying to Baba, okay, this is what this person is saying to me. Listen to them with me. So I'm also going to listen as much as I can without getting my sanskaras involved in what they're saying. I'm just going to be listening to them and putting making myself very yogic at that time. Now, if I do that, what I'm doing is I'm allowing myself to become the instrument to give them the power they need to make their own decisions or to make their own choices. But it's much easier to say to them, go do this or go do that. And if that's what they expect from me, then there is a level of karmic account that goes with that. Because if I say to them, do this or do that, and it wasn't the right thing for them to do, and they did it, then they're going to blame me.
Hmm.
Or if I told them to do this or to do that and they didn't do it, they would become, the relationship may become a little bit tense with me because they will feel that they didn't do what I told them to do. But I feel that if I'm in Baba's remembrance and just let Baba give them power through me, through my drishti, through my compassionate listening, through my non-judgmental attitude, then they will get that strength to choose and to decide for themselves. And that is what Raj Yoga is to make the other into a self-sovereign It's not to make them subservient to me or dependent on me.
Nice. Yeah, very clear. Thank you. Um, Maybe a last question. To be able to serve the way you describe, um, to be so much present in front of others and so much a mirror of truth and love, we have to have a lot of self-love. And I'm quite sure many would agree that self-love is often lacking because maybe we're not capable to follow a Shrimat as good as we want to. Maybe there's some subconscious memory lingering around. So can we hope that this body, these 21 days bodies, actually also brings a lot of self-love back to the soul?
Yes, because I think with love, as Baba says, if you keep sitting on his heart, you will feel his love. And we can't have self-love um, without being in Baba's remembrance and being open to receiving love from Baba. And that is why, if you notice, every single Murli, every single one, he's kind of coaxing us into trusting his love for us. And the more I know that there is a higher being, there is a God who loves me and who gives me the power of love to reignite the love that is lying within me, covered over with doubts and mistrust and kind of betrayal and all of the things that happen in human relationships. He's trying to remove those layers by asking us, trust me, trust my love for you. And then that will gradually build the love within myself. So I feel self-love comes from having that faith in Baba and really experimenting with what he's saying to me in how I could receive his love and to do more work at that level of the heart with him. And then, of course, the illusions will be cleared out of it, and I will feel more love. But when it comes to serving others, I feel that if I can't feel what is inside of me as love, then I could feel the same thing inside of me as compassion. And the example, and you don't have to know people to express compassion for them. How did I find out about the fire that took place in Switzerland is that I have a cousin who is married to a Swiss guy, and they're living just on the outskirts of Geneva. So she was sending me good wishes for the New Year's. And then she said this happened. And then I said, God, and she said there were lots of young people. And she has a son. He's in his mid 20s. So I was saying, but of course he wasn't there, thank God. But she then said to me something very lovely. And then I went and I sat with Baba and I said, no, I must send some good wishes. I must send because I'm hearing this one of the first things on the morning of the first. But then what she said to me, one thing was the young people died. There were 40 or 50 of them at that time. But she says, just think of the parents and how devastated those parents would be. And that is what stirred my heart.
Mhm.
It was very interesting because it wasn't those who died that immediately stirred my heart. But when she said, think about the pain and the devastating pain the parents are feeling and the relatives are feeling, that stirred my heart. And what came, because I don't know them, it wouldn't be, oh, my love for them or whatever, but what came out of me was a compassion. And I think compassion is a form of loving kindness that I could kind of relate to or empathize with what she was saying. And that moved me to go and sit and send the vibrations of Baba to those families. So I think that maybe I don't feel love for myself, but something will stir me to do something for another that I may not say it's love, but I would say it's compassion. But what is compassion? Compassion is a loving kindness. So that will come out of me. And I mustn't think that love is just a linear thing that I do, but love is so is an expression of the whole self. And so it would be expressed in many different ways. And it's not going to be expressed in just one linear way. It will be expressed in a kaleidoscopic way of different colors and different images. And so I must allow my love also to be given expression, to express the beauty that lies within me in a limitless way. And I may call it different things, but it's still being ignited by that soul conscious love and the love that Baba is kind of igniting inside of me to serve others with. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. It's also interesting in this context when Baba said in the book message through Mohini Didi that whatever we do, what kind of efforts we do, every now and then sit and serve the world, that this should always be there. Yeah,
That's exactly right. Yeah. And then
yeah,
he's saying it doesn't have to be a situation. Like I serve the situation, but just look at the world and look
right.
at the world full of people. Look at the planet, look at the people, and look at the peace that they're asking for. And just give it. Just give it.
Yeah, beautiful.
Mm.
Thank you so much, Sister Gayatri. I think we are full.
I
And,
know you are.
um,
I'm looking at some of the faces, and I hope that
I
everybody is fine and no one has a question and everybody.
let's hope they open the camera for a moment. And then when we can still have you for 5 minutes and share some drishti and we play a beautiful song, that would be a nice way to end.
Okay, it's
Does
lovely.
anybody have a question? Somebody has a question. This morning we had Charlie by for our Murli class.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
whole Europe and African countries, some Middle East countries. It was nice. It was good beginning also.
Yeah, Charlie is a lovely, lovely soul.
Yeah. And actually also he emphasized a lot of feelings, like
Mm.
feeling the Gyan also. He emphasized that a lot. Okay, Gayatri Ben, thank you so much.
You're
Now we
welcome. And do you like my background?
it's beautiful. It looks almost as beautiful as Switzerland.
Not as beautiful as Switzerland, beautiful as the Alps. That is Peace Village, and we had a lot of snow.
A lot of snow. We only had a little. Yeah, good. Thank you.
If you could see what I see, you'd lose your breath for sure. You are the perfect replications and the ones that I adore. I carved you from a diamond and polished you with love. Then I sent you out beyond the veil so you might choose the love. Oh, my sweet creations, your beauty makes me weep. Oh, my sweet creations, the whole world's at your feet. lose your smile. For you walk in thy own footsteps when you walk that second mile. These are more than words, my love. This is poetry divine. My signature is everywhere, for all of life is mine. One day you'll see what I see, and you'll come to realize that every tear you ever cried, I wiped from my own eyes. I know your every feeling, and I felt your every joy. But you and I are one, my child, still illusion was the choice. If you could see what I see, you'd lose your breath for sure. You are the perfect replications. You're the ones that I adore.
So have wonderful, wonderful, wonderful 2026.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year to you again. You still have a retreat going on in Peace Village?
It finished yesterday, and today we just had instruments from all the different states, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Washington. And they all came together to spend the day with Sister Mohini.
Wow. What a been a powerful, powerful gathering.
Yes, it was. It was very beautiful. So what I shared with you just now, that is what she was sharing with us.
Great.
Okay,
Thank you.
love to everyone, to you, Matthias, to Anga, to Isnel, to everyone.
God, let's hear from you.